Hey everyone, welcome to the Game Week 19 preview video. This is the last game week in the first half of the season. And if you stuck with us so far, thanks so much for following along, liking the fact that you subscribed to the video. That's great. And if you haven't, please do that. That would really help the channel grow and for us to get bigger and have more conversations and get more people in this league. But without further ado, we're going to look at the team going into Game Week 19. As per usual, we got Provedel in net. Not going to be a clean sheet week. I'm just going to say that right now. We're facing Napoli here. I'm hoping for 2 points. It might be less out of this, so it'll be a tough game here for Napoli. But we'll see what happens. Anything can happen in this league. It's a very highly competitive league with a lot of upsets happening all the time. So we'll see there. And as per usual, if he doesn't play, we got Zoet to back him up. On the defense, it's going to be a relatively similar defense to last week. We got Karsdorp against Sampdoria, definitely opportunity for clean sheet. Bonucci against Cagliari, definitely opportunity for clean sheet. And Hisa versus Venezia, definitely opportunity for clean sheet, but Venezia has been very strong, scoring goals against top sides lately and sticking in games. They had a late draw against Sampdoria last week. Or last game week, it was literally yesterday, as this is being shot on, what is it today, Monday. But yeah, so 3 defenders with a good opportunity for a clean sheet. Now, Napoli, I'd say, has a good opportunity for a clean sheet as well. I just don't know too much what to think about this Mario Rui injury. It says, the place that I've seen, that he could be out a couple weeks. I'm assuming that he's not going to be back for this game, but Fantasy doesn't have him listed as red, meaning that there is a chance that he comes in. So I'm just going to have him in there, and chances are he'll just end up subbing out first position with Kandreva. So that's how the defense looks, but I'd rather just be safe and have him in there in case he does start. The midfield, also with good fixtures this week, we got Pasalic against Genoa. Opportunity for goals there. Quadrado, after scoring last week facing Cagliari, I definitely see an opportunity again. Keeping in mind with everyone this week that there is chance for rotation, as this is midweek games. So I know recently players like Bonucci have been rotated. Hisa's been pretty straightforward as far as starting, and same with Karsdorp. Quadrado, I could see maybe a Bernadeschi starting, or someone along those lines. And Berardi, I don't think there's been too much rotation with him against Bologna. Definitely opportunity for goals. Didn't contribute to either of the goals Sassuolo scored against Fiorentina last week, so I'm sure he is hungry to get back on the score sheet this upcoming week. And lastly, going up front, we have, again, the choice between Vlahovic and Lautaro Martinez for captaincy. The fact that Lautaro Martinez did not start on, what was it, last Saturday, I have a feeling he's going to start on Tuesday and facing Torino, and he generally scores in 20 minutes. So how many 20s going to 90, right? So I'm hoping for 4.5 goals for Lautaro Martinez here with the captaincy. And then you got Vlahovic still, who has scored the last 6 games. He's facing Verona. I do not see why that would stop now. So I'm feeling very confident with both of the strikers that I've been going with here. Leao has been out recently, but my transfer in this week is in Scamacca, out Leao. So at least I have a third striker that can play now. I will start him this week. He plays the top position on the Sassuolo team, generally in between Raspadori and Berardi. So between these two, I should have someone getting points on Sassuolo goals at the end of the day. On the bench, we have Kandreva in first bench spot, which I am assuming I am going to be hoping that he contributes, because chances are Mario Rui will not be playing, and I'm going to need Kandreva's points. Can be also against Atalanta. We'll see what happens there. Not likely for much to happen there at all. But he keeps getting assists, so we'll see. And then we got Barella, who definitely won't be seeing the field as he is suspended for the next game due to yellow card accumulation. Okay, and that's how the team lines up in a 4-3-3, likely going to end up as a 3-4-3 with the substitution at the end if it happens. And if we have another big week, we could be moving into the top 300 again, and hopefully making up some space in the league. 6th, I feel like I should be doing a little better in my own league, especially if I'm the one people are supposed to be listening to. Let's go to the transfers. Now, I've transferred in Scamacca this week. That's kind of my plan as last week too, but I didn't want Dybala sitting on the bench and dropping in value, and I felt that Leao had already dropped as much that he was going to drop. Some other things to be considering. I don't generally, when teams have a good run of fixtures, and I've listed off the Swallows' awesome run of fixtures coming up right now, but they still have, I think, 6 games that it's very easy to start to Swallow players. Yeah, 6 games, and it gets tougher. So after the 6, I'm going to start transferring them out. Just because Sassuolo still isn't a top tier team, I don't think I'll be trying to bring in the defender for them. So I'll probably just stick with Berardi and Scamacca as far as that and start moving on to other teams. We do have Napoli is about to start another decent fixture swing. They got Spezia this week, Juve the next week, which is tough. Then you got Sampdoria, Bologna, Salernitana, and Venezia. So I saw, and we went over this in the last video as well in the review for 18, there are a lot of people dropping players like Mertens and Zielinski. And that I find kind of confusing because I think Napoli is where you, like if you have players right now, you're holding them right now for a good run of fixtures coming up. And we'll see that based on the top 5 that I'm going to announce at the end of this. But that's some other players. Oh, Mira is dropping a price. That's a shame. But that's why I don't really want to get rid of Mira Rui because they have a big break coming up after this round of games. They don't play again until early January. So they have like 2 weeks off. So lots of time to recover from injuries. And at that point, you're probably thinking you're going to want to bring in an Osimhen, a Mertens, depending on who's starting at that point. I think Osimhen comes back early January, so might be bringing him back into our squad. Or even Insigne. I don't really know if I have the money for that. Probably not, based on that I put a lot of money into the attack now. And Berardi I'm not looking to get rid of yet. But I think I'd definitely be looking to bring in someone like Osimhen or Mertens, who's ever playing at the time. And if I can't afford another midfielder that I want, maybe to bring in a second Napoli defender at that point. But yeah, that's kind of how things are shaking up. Those are the teams that I kind of have my eye on right now. I can't really think of anyone else aside from Fiorentina. If you don't have Vlahovic yet, you're going to get him. And that'll bring us right into our top 5 for the week. Number 1, I'm just going to say it right now, and I don't think anyone's really going to disagree, is Vlahovic. 6 games in a row, he's scored at least 1 goal. Some of those games, he scored more than 1. And the guy's just not stopping. He still has good fixtures coming up for several weeks to come. So I'm going to keep writing him the first choice to bring in this week. Second choice to bring in, I'm going to say, is Berardi. We're going to hear a couple names that we heard last week, just because the fixture runs are kind of similar. The way the players are playing is similar. And yes, Berardi didn't get in on any of the goals last week. I don't think that's any reason to get rid of him or to think that he is not worth it. Got another couple of easy fixtures. You can hold him for 6 weeks and be confident that he'll be playing a team that he can score against, whether he does or not in all of those. Obviously, you don't get points every week from every player, but I think it's a good show. Third, I'm going to go with is Scamacca. I would bring him in just because he's playing in the top there right alongside Berardi. And the reason I have both, and I'm not just saying this because they're players on my team, but the reason I have both is if there's a goal, generally Raspador is the other one getting in on it. And I'd like to think that at least one of these two is assisting him or they're assisting each other in the other scoring. The fourth player I'm going to go with is Mertens, which kind of goes against what the overall, here, if we go back here for a sec, in case you don't remember from last video, Mertens is one of the most transferred out players right now. I'm not really sure why. But anyway, I would bring him in as you have him for this upcoming game against Spezia. Juve is difficult, that's fine. But then the only reason that I wouldn't bring him in is if Osimhen's just going to jump in right when he's healthy again. So that might be what people are thinking, but you should at least keep him for the game against Spezia, I think. And he got it subbed off early, so hopefully he's ready to go this week as well. So I'd say Mertens is a good bring-in for number 4. And the last one I'd probably say is Di Lorenzo, because, well, he's not injured and he's generally part of the starting lineup. He's a good attacking defender as well, a little more expensive. But if you can afford him, I definitely think he's worth it, as Napoli are one of the top teams right now, good for clean sheets. and he's good for attacking returns as well. So those are my 5 for this week. We got Vlahovic, Berardi, Scamacca, Mertens, and Di Lorenzo. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below, and who else would you add? And please like and subscribe to the video, as that really helps. And I will talk to you again maybe right after the game week, but if not, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. Take care.